Ethiopian $5 billion Renaissance Dam that will block the Nile. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD, a monumental engineering feat in the heart of Africa, is poised to become a transformative force, both economically and geopolitically. As Ethiopia invests $5 billion into this ambitious project, it aims to harness the power of the Blue Nile, a major tributary of the Nile River, to meet its energy needs, drive economic growth, and elevate millions out of poverty. However, the GERD's construction and the ensuing reservoir it creates have set the stage for a complex and contentious narrative, raising critical questions about water rights, regional stability, and the future of one of the world's most iconic rivers. The genesis of the GERD. To understand the significance of the GERD, one must trace its origins. Ethiopia, a nation of over 100 million people, has grappled with chronic energy shortages and a fervent desire for economic development. The GERD project was conceived as a bold solution to these challenges, representing Ethiopia's unwavering commitment to harness its vast hydroelectric potential. Construction on the GERD commenced in April 2011, marking the start of one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects on the African continent. The GERD is not just a dam. It is a symbol of Ethiopia's determination to transform its economic landscape. The Nile River, a lifeline of Africa. To grasp the profound implications of the GERD, one must appreciate the centrality of the Nile River in the lives of millions across northeastern Africa. The Nile, often referred to as the gift of the Nile, is not merely a river, it is a lifeline. Stretching over 6,650 kilometers, 4,130 miles, and coursing through 11 countries, the Nile nourishes the existence of countless communities. It flows through an arid landscape, providing sustenance for agriculture and serving as a vital source of water for domestic, industrial, and agricultural use. The Nile's significance extends far beyond its role as a water source. It is intertwined with the cultural, historical, and social fabric of the region. The hydropolitical complexity. The GERD, while an emblem of Ethiopian progress, is also a catalyst for a profound shift in the hydropolitics of the Nile River basin. Historically, the Nile's waters have been a source of disputes, negotiations, and cooperation among the riparian states. Egypt, situated downstream and heavily reliant on the Nile, views any alterations to its flow with deep apprehension. The river is not just a water source for Egypt, it is an essential component of its national identity and security. Sudan, sharing the Nile with Egypt, finds itself in a delicate position. The country anticipates potential benefits from the GERD, including increased access to electricity and reduced risk of flooding. However, it must navigate a complex diplomatic terrain, balancing its interests with those of its neighbors. Ethiopia, the driving force behind the GERD, frames the project as a linchpin of its development agenda. It views the dam as a means to unlock its immense hydroelectric potential, provide electricity to its citizens, and accelerate economic growth. For Ethiopia, the GERD represents a pathway to energy independence and a brighter future for its people. The geopolitical implications. The GERD's construction has far-reaching geopolitical implications, extending beyond the Nile Basin countries. It is a symbol of Africa's growing ambitions in infrastructure development, economic self-sufficiency, and regional leadership. Ethiopia's determination to pursue the GERD signals a shift in the continent's narrative, challenging traditional power dynamics and asserting itself as a key player in the global arena. Egypt, meanwhile, faces the challenge of reconciling its historical status as the Nile's primary beneficiary with the evolving realities of a changing Africa. The economic and environmental considerations. At the heart of the GERD debate are multifaceted economic and environmental considerations. Ethiopia, for its part, emphasizes the economic benefits of the dam. The GERD is expected to provide a reliable source of electricity for the country, reducing reliance on fossil fuels, lowering energy costs, and fostering industrial growth. Additionally, Ethiopia anticipates revenue generation through electricity exports to neighboring countries, potentially transforming it into a regional energy hub. However, the GERD's consequences extend beyond national borders. The environmental impact assessment. As construction of the GERD progresses, there is an ongoing debate about the adequacy of the environmental impact assessment (EIA) and mitigation measures. An exhaustive EIA is crucial to identify and address potential environmental consequences, including impacts on water quality, aquatic ecosystems, and local biodiversity. The EIA process should include comprehensive studies and consultations with experts, stakeholders, and local communities. It should also incorporate internationally recognized best practices for dam construction and environmental management. The human dimension, livelihoods, and communities. Amidst the geopolitical posturing and environmental considerations, it is essential not to overlook the human dimension of the GERD. The project's implementation has displaced communities living in the vicinity of the dam and the reservoir. Thousands of people have been uprooted from their homes, facing challenges in adapting to new environments and livelihoods. The GERD also raises questions about the impact on downstream communities in Egypt and Sudan. Changes in water flow and quality can affect agricultural productivity, fisheries, and access to clean water. The international legal framework. The GERD debate unfolds within the context of international law and agreements governing shared water resources. The Nile River Basin countries are parties to various treaties and conventions, including the 1929 and 1959 agreements that have historically allocated water rights primarily to Egypt. However, the equitable utilization and sustainable management of the Nile's waters have been recurring themes in contemporary negotiations. The role of mediation and negotiations. Diplomatic negotiations, facilitated by international actors such as the African Union (AU), the United States, and the European Union, have played a crucial role in attempting to resolve the GERD dispute. These negotiations aim to find common ground on issues related to dam operation, water sharing, and dispute resolution mechanisms. Mediation efforts have encountered challenges and delays, reflecting the complexity of the issues at hand. Nevertheless, they remain an essential avenue for peaceful resolution and cooperation among the riparian states. The impact on global water diplomacy. The GERD's significance extends beyond the Nile River Basin. It reverberates through the realm of global water diplomacy. It stands as a case study in the complexities and intricacies of shared water resources in a world grappling with increasing water stress and scarcity. The GERD's trajectory will inevitably influence future negotiations and agreements on transboundary water resources, setting precedents for how nations navigate the delicate balance between sovereignty and shared responsibilities. Charting the future of the Nile. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a monumental endeavor, one that holds the promise of economic development for Ethiopia and the potential to reshape the geopolitics of the Nile River Basin. Yet it also underscores the profound complexities of managing shared water resources, the imperatives of diplomacy, and the imperative of environmental stewardship. As the GERD nears completion and the dam's reservoir fills, the international community watches with keen interest. The negotiations and resolutions surrounding the GERD will not only determine the future of the Nile but also serve as a blueprint for how nations address the ever-growing challenges of water management in an interconnected world. In this era of global interdependence, the GERD represents a call to action. It challenges nations to engage in meaningful dialogue, compromise for the common good, and prioritize the welfare of both their citizens and their neighbors. The Nile River, the lifeblood of northeastern Africa, bears witness to these complex dynamics, and its future will be shaped by the decisions made in the present, a future that holds both challenges and opportunities for all who depend on its waters. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.